Well, hello, and welcome to Trash with a capital T, where we go trashy books and movies the love they truly deserve. And some deserve more than others. I'm your host, Bobby. New videos are posted here every Sunday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Before we get into the book review, and this is the book we're going to be talking about, this hoodie, you'll probably seen it in many videos in the past couple of weeks. I do change my clothes, and I'm not shooting these all at once. I have actually been trying to group reviews together as I finish books because these books are so short. I'm like finishing them all around the same time. But I swear to God, I change my clothes. I do wash my clothes. I'm not shooting these all at once. Okay, that out of the way. The book today, Scareville, The Harvest, by John Ward. I wanted to check out a small press middle grade horror book. And this series popped up and I saw that cover. I mean, look at those scarecrows. It comes off a little dark on camera. I will tell you in person, the artwork is actually really beautiful. Crystal Lake Publishing, you guys did a good job with this one. And my experience with middle grade horror did not disappoint. I have a few notes, but overall, I actually greatly enjoyed this book. It's set up like a Goosebumps story where each book is a self-contained story and they might have like Easter eggs connecting each other. But you don't have to start at book 1. This is actually book 7. And I know there's a book 8. I hope the series continues on. But yeah, it gave me what I was looking for, and it really has an action-packed conclusion. But I'm not going to get too far into that because I don't want to give you guys a bunch of spoilers. What I will say is, if you have a young reader or you yourself enjoy reading middle grade horror, give this one a check. Give this one a look if you haven't yet. I was actually pleasantly surprised. Actually, before I get too far into that, let's get into the plot. So the basic plot of this one is you have Melissa and her family. It's her mother and her Zach, who have just suffered a massive loss after her father has a heart attack. So because of the financial strain of the death of the father of the family, they have to move from Minnesota to Waverly, Iowa. And it seems almost too good to be true, except for the fact that the town seems weirdly obsessed with scarecrows, starting with Scarecrow Row, which is depicted right here, as you enter the town. But even the town mascot, the high school mascot, is a scarecrow. And they have a giant scarecrow festival every year. And it's very weird. Also, Melissa notices that the people in the town are kind of off. Seem really friendly, but they also always seem to be staring at her or her brother. But she seems to be the only one who has any real problems with this. But underneath the surface of Waverly, she's very sure something sinister is afoot. That is as spoiler-free as I can give with the plot description. This was overall a really fun read. It has shades of folk horror. We get some Wicker Man style stuff in there. But like I said, it has a really action-packed conclusion. Like the last 50 or 60 pages are just knockdown, drag-out horror action. Not gory, but exciting. It's all, like I have said with all of these, it is super age-appropriate, but it is exciting. And that is something that is sometimes lacking in these books. They can be a little too reserved. That's part of the reason I like K.R. Alexander's Vacancy so much, is it's exciting. And this gets that. The characters are likable. Melissa is fairly likable. She has a good relationship with her older brother Zach, which I enjoyed. We don't get a lot of the real nasty, annoying sibling relationship stuff. These two actually, they have their moments, but generally get along, and they have a few sweet scenes together. Mom is there. I mean, she's as there as any of these parents are in these books. Maybe a little more so, especially towards the end. But, she's not a major player because these books aren't about the parents, they're about the kids. Side character-wise, we get a whole host of kids whose names I don't remember because they all kind of blend into each other. There's a few kids. Anthony, who becomes one of Melissa's better friends, he stands out, and I want to say the girl is... Oh my god, where is it? Kapow. Sorry, I was reading the page. Blair. She's another one who becomes a good friend to Melissa. They are the kids we spend the most time with. They don't get a ton to do, but that's mostly because this isn't a super long book and we're really focused in on Melissa and the plot surrounding what's going on with the scarecrows and what is going on with the weird people living in Waverly. I gave this one 4 stars notes-wise. The big note for me, and this is more towards the front half of the book than the latter half, the big note for me is parts of this feel a little overwritten. When I say that, I mean like sentences could be completely chopped out. It needed to be tightened. Especially the suspenseful scenes didn't have this problem as much. It felt like he understood, not felt like, I know he did. He's a professional writer. But he understood, like, pull back on the language, let the faster clipped sentences keep up the pace. But early on, there's a lot of stuff that it just felt like there was too much packed into some of these sentences. There's also repeated turns of phrase that come up, specifically things washing over Melissa, rage, fear, everything is washing over her. She just is on shore, and just waves of stuff are just washing over her all the time. And that is it's a common problem I've noticed. I even noticed it with K.R. Alexander, where like things would cause certain characters to blood boil, or cause certain characters' blood to boil. It is one of those things that, as an adult reading it, it drives me a little nuts. But if I was a 12-year-old reading this, I wouldn't give a flying. I would just have fun because it's got scary-ass scarecrows on it. But I'm going to note, that is one thing that I did notice with the writing. Now, that is not to say this is badly written. It is not badly written. It's actually fairly well written. And as for the action scenes, which are probably some of the hardest parts to write, I thought they were handled excellently. The pacing in those scenes is wonderful, and it keeps up the momentum for a good chunk of the last part of this book, which is great. It also has a fun ending. There's actually a nice little joke there. So the writing does need to be tightened, especially in the early parts of the books, but I still thought it was well done. And as far as storytelling goes, it was great. It was paced very, very well. And it was just creepy enough. The ending actually gets kind of intense. Like, intense. Like, I knew characters were not going to die, because it's very rare that characters in these middle grade books get killed off, especially in any brutal way. But still, it was kind of like, wow, they're going for it. I would love to see this actually filmed. John Ward actually really handles those scenes so well. And I hope that carries over into the other books in the series, because I wouldn't mind checking out more Scareville books. I'm enjoying reading middle grade horror right now. It's kind of like the salve my anxious brain needs. So this might be a series that I turn to when I need it. I don't know if I'm going to jump to doing a bunch more for the channel right away. I want to kind of diversify things, but I definitely recommend checking out this series, and specifically The Harvest. I do know from reading the author's note that this one is darker and a little more intense than other books in the series. So if you're looking for something that is a little more towards the older end of middle grade horror, something that's a little more intense than like a Goosebumps, this is definitely one to check out. I enjoyed it, and I think you guys would too. All right, we're going to call it there. I don't want to keep rambling on and saying the same stuff over and over and again. I know this channel has to be so weird for you guys, because I don't just stick to one thing. Like, I have reviewed frickin' Emmanuel, and now I'm reading middle grade horror novels. And part of that is because this channel is driven by my anxiety and like what I can and cannot handle and what I need to keep myself level. And my brain, and as I've said in earlier videos, goes in cycles. And my cycle right now is middle grade, specifically middle grade. Well, and kind of YA too. I have some Christopher Pike I want to read. I've got some Nancy Drew files that I want to read. But my brain is in this cycle, and it's going to hold on to that cycle for as long as I can get serotonin from it. So I hope you guys continue taking this ride with me. I'm having a blast reading these. And if I thought I could keep up with it, I would probably try and do middle grade and YA stuff like this as much as possible. It's really fun for me. And shout out again, this book was a blast to read. So John Ward, you done good. This was really enjoyable, and I hope the rest of your books are just as enjoyable. I'll check them out at some point. So on that note, let's wrap this baby up. Okay. As I said at the top of the video, new videos are posted here every Sunday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. If you liked what you saw, hit that like button. And if you want to keep seeing stuff coming from this channel, hit subscribe and then hit that bell so you get notified when new videos are posted. They are posted regularly and I schedule far ahead, so I can guarantee you're going to have some content moving forward. Okay, here's for the whole final. Love what you love. Enjoy what you're reading and watching. Have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening. And I will hopefully see y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.